Hi everyone and welcome to our digital kit release for our Recollect collection. This is a fabulous collection. The vintage feel, the heritage, the everything. You are going to love this. Now the other beauty to this kit is I know it's difficult out there in order to find kits to make cards or scrapbook layouts or mini albums and that for a male. You're going to see some darker colors and some masculine patterns in here, and that is another big asset to this kit, is that you do have that ability. So let's go in and have a peek here and see exactly what each and every component of this kit does entail. So here's our Argyle pattern, and as you can see right off the bat, here is something great for if you're doing something for a man in your life. We also have these beautiful florals in lighter colors. So heritage and vintage does not necessarily mean grungy, dark, everything else. There's a lot of ways that you can create with this kit depending on your creative vision. We do have the lighter options in here, but still has that worn, vintage, warm look. And take a look at a page like this. Mary Fran has created a page that makes it so easy to create a card or a scrapbook layout or a mini album page by simply just placing in whether that's a name tag with a date, somebody's name, or maybe an occasion if you're making a card. This is already done for you. Look at how great this is. Look at the way even she's got the lines in there, like this was folded in someone's drawer for years and years and years. This is fabulous. Then you also move into some of the more or less intricate patterns, because we want you to have lots of options with this kit. We know you're going to probably want to create with it. But then you end up with these beautiful florals. Something like this, doesn't this remind you of something that was maybe in your house, maybe in your grandma's house? It could be wallpaper, it could have been a scarf that she had that you really loved, it could have been a bedspread. There's so many things that are going to evoke a lot of feeling for you with this kit. We also move into, and we'll get to it here in a second, here we go. In life, it is always about the journey rather than the destination. Take a look at something like this. We don't also just have to create vintage, meaning having old photos or things like that. This can be from this year's vacation. Why not take a photo from whatever it was that it obviously refers to a journey in life, whether that was a promotion at work, whether that was a vacation you went on, whether that was maybe you had your first child, whatever. Take that photo, make it black and white, turn it sepia, whatever. Look at how you can use this. And if you're looking to how to change a photo to black and white or sepia or things like that, check out our how-to videos here on our YouTube channel, and you will see I've actually created one simply for you using a product called GIMP. It is a free downloadable software that you can use. Very simple, easy way you can turn your photos black and white or sepia. And here we are with a torn page. Now, as kids, didn't we all sit and kind of pick at something that we weren't supposed to, and then you're like, oops, like I guess I shouldn't have been doing that. And maybe that's something that is part of your life's journey that you want to remember. Again, we have all kinds of colors. You have full creative control over this, and you can see there's color, there's muted things, there's bolder colors. You really have a lot of options in this kit with whatever your vision says. And the toile. Boy, I don't know of anything more of a pattern that evokes that feeling of vintage heritage. If you go into a vintage home or things like that, you're definitely going to see this pattern somewhere, whether that be a tablecloth or wallpaper or whatever. Again, a wonderful page that Mary Fran has created in this vintage with the worn edges, the overlay that's on it. Look at how easy this would be to create with. We can all see that this is already starting to develop very, very quickly. Our elements, things like bicycles, the old school style bicycles. Things like the nameplate with the screws on it and the metal looking border around it. Here's a blank one for you, so then that way you can fill it in with whatever it is that you're looking to say. Some bows with some hammered brass inserts in the center. And as well as individual items. Obviously, we like to give you clustered items, but we also like to give you individual elements for those of you that want to build things yourselves. Here's some lovely, really elegant buttons here as well. Circle label. Look at these. Look at the font that Mary Fran has chosen. Doesn't that look like something you saw from the 40s? From the 1800s when businesses began, and obviously this one superior quality since 1665. So you can see where we're going with this kit. Recollections of the past. We're hoping that you'll see the beauty of this kit and have that warm feeling in your heart where you remember things and treasure things, and you want to bring that back into your life once again. This corner cluster, for those of you creating, the background to it is transparent, so this can act like a stamp. You place this over a background paper, you can place this on anything. When you go, either if you're creating digitally, you can just go ahead and do this, and whatever is behind it will show through. If you are doing this for print, again, you place this onto a paper or whatever, and when you print it out, your background is showing through, which is a great thing to have. Another corner cluster in a different format, and here with all clustered together. This is the wonderful thing, I think, that Mary Fran does for us all, is if you're looking to create and you're like, geez, I'm just really not good with scale or putting things together like this, here she's done it all for you. The shadowing on the butterfly is already there. Everything is complete, ready to go. Just simply place that into your creation and off you go with fabulous results. Envelopes, look at the worn edges on this envelope. Doesn't that look like something that's been floating around in your drawer for forever? Here's also a blank one. Print this out, write on it with your pens. We all have different tools that we can utilize. Maybe you have a font in your computer that you could use that you really liked it, and then print it out with the font and what you wanted to say on it. Flowers, again, individually, so that you have the creative options available to you. Frames, once again, with frames, don't think of these just for photos. These can have your main element housed in it. I've actually used this in my card making, in the one square card, in order to denote the two. I've used this, and I've covered up this area that actually has the open area for your frame, so you just see the top and the side sticking out. You can use it as a backing to something. So there are lots of options for the frames as well. Here you go with journal labels. In this moment, date. So Mary Fran has done, again, the hard work for you in terms of the font, the beautiful floral in here, the linen look to it. All you have to do is fill in the date and you're ready to go. Lots of journaling cards in here. Journal cards are very important in order to go with the flow of the kit, so that way when you're creating your scrapbook layouts, you're creating your mini albums, and as well as your cards, you can utilize these items in order to personalize them so eloquently with exactly the way you want. Here's as well the journal tags. Blank for you, where they're really well done. They have that worn vintage feel, but you can go ahead and personalize them yourself. Easy to place in labels. Sentiments are already on them. So if that's what you're thinking, of portraits of the past, you're doing a memoriam to your mom, your grandmom, your dad, maybe a past pet that has passed away. You have all kinds of options where you can easily place these in, and it's already given you exactly what you wanted to say. Great things like one quart from Lenny's Dairy. Here's a ticket where name, address, and phone number. Isn't that great? You know, the worn lines that are somewhat rubbed off. Really true vintage look. Here it looks like even Mary Fran has put the creases in the paper. And so that's how it looks when it prints out. Everything else, you have that vintage feel, that vintage look with that linen background. You know, paper in the old days had that more of the beigey kind of gray look to it. Everything is placed in here. Railroad pass, a great one for so many uses. Maybe you took the train on a honeymoon or a vacation that you went on. How great is that? You have so many options with this kit that you can create and create and create again. Macintosh whole goods, again, just something simple. Maybe this was one of your treasured dolls that you had from the past. Maybe it was a treasured bicycle. Anything can go with tags like that. Butterflies, we've included some other elements that are very popular that people seem to like that go in there. Again, here is a receipt, but could easily double as a journal card where you can journal things in. Same thing with this one here. You have so many options. The clocks with the vintage feel, with the Roman numerals, same thing with the coloration and the style of the hands that are on it. Really well done. Here's one in a little bit different color. And here's one as a stamp. So this one, if you can't tell from looking at the screen, again, full transparent background. So you would use this as you would a regular rubber stamp when you're stamping. Anything that is behind this clock will show through. So that is a great option that you can have in there. Every faded photograph contains a story. What a perfectly font work done on this in order to place a photo in. Again, yesterday's stories, today's treasures. You know, you could simply print this out, put a photo in here. This could go in a photo frame, sitting on your end table, sitting up on a shelf somewhere. You've already got this wonderful matting that goes so well. A few stamps to go in there, as well as a ticket for some great elements. And we're back to the start again. So that just is the FQB. When we go into the little bits, our additional elements pack, there is no duplicates in here. You have wonderful clustered items, and that's what the little bits really is there elements that are already clustered for you, so you can just get to creating. You don't have to worry about building things or clustering them yourself or making the choices. You've got a lot of things in here which are simply done for you already, and that's kind of the point of it. We obviously want to give you options both creatively as well as being able to finish something quickly and have great results. Sentiment stamps, once again, sorry to be a broken record, but I want to make sure you know what this is because of it shows up on a computer screen. This is a digital stamp. This will all come out just as if you had stamped it with a rubber stamp, and the background will show through on whatever you stamp it onto. Beautiful sayings, really unique and well done font work on here. So these make such beautiful additions, and again, gives you the creative control to put it on however you want. Here's as well one of the ideas. You've seen this frame before, and we talked about putting a photo in here, but look at how Mary Fran chose to use it. Now she enhanced that and made it as an element behind. Isn't that great? So I want you to give that some creative thought. Think about how you can use the frames and put an element in behind. There are so many things you can do with that. And same thing with yesterday's stories, today's treasures. Put a vintage background paper in there, off you go. What a great main element that you can have. So obviously we want to give you things as well that are more simplistic that you can alter and do yourself, and that's where the frames come in the end there. Recollect 2 is an additional paper pack. You will see the same patterns that you saw in the FQB papers, but they are not in these colors. There are no duplicates, so don't think by purchasing the 2 paper pack that you are getting duplicates of something and so bypass it. That is not true at all. The 2 paper pack is fully additional papers that you do not get anywhere else that you can use in order to do more creating with this kit. Obviously, if you're in love with it as much as we are, you're going to want to create many, many items with it. Our solids just have a muted line pattern in them. Use these like you would cardstock. The beauty of them is they're fully color matched, so it's like using a digital cardstock. You can print these out, use them as backings. You can even use it as a standalone paper. Maybe you want to put one of the digital stamps on here, and because, again, like I said, the digital stamp lets the background show through, it just has the wording on here that will stamp onto that page for you. Lastly is our alpha. Couldn't be more vintage looking, like typewriter keys or old buttons that have all your beautiful font in here. You get numbers. You get a full lowercase font as well as some punctuation with this, so that there is no, as well as a blank one, so you can actually fill in something if you want yourself. But there is such use for this, whether that is a name, date, title, somebody's initials, it was an occasion. Use your creative thoughts, whatever it is, to spell out whatever you want to highlight and punctuate in your layouts, your cards, your mini albums. This is just a fantastic way to do it, and it's such an elegant way to show it off. So that's the kit, folks. Again, I'll give you a couple of quick looks here as well at, let's come up here for our card. There we go. So these are some of the ideas that we had, and you'll see these also on our website underneath the product descriptions. These are just some creations that we created to give you some ideas of how to blend them together. As you can see, this I took and used all of the different elements and clustered it together myself. And right in the back, in behind this tag that has 2891 on it, that's where I used that one with the frame in it. Like I was saying, I used it as a backer just to give it some dimension and some eye-catching appeal. One of the layouts, you can see how Mary Fran used the torn page in here. She created this wonderfully. And as you can see, this truly is a vintage photo from way back in the day in 1950 of her dad. Again, another vintage one. Old photos were used, but you certainly don't have to. You can have new photos from today with the sepia, black and white, or color, whichever way you want to do it. And lastly, here is the other card as a just something, a tag card. There are so many things you can do with this kit. I know I'm a broken record and I apologize for that, but I really truly mean it. Look at this. Can you imagine giving this to someone? What a wonderful creation. Look at the detail in here and the visual interest of this. This really says to someone, you mean a lot to me. I've taken the time to do this. So thanks for tuning in. I hope that you'll go to the lower right of this screen. You'll see our Nitwit Collections logo. Click on that to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you'll be made aware of whenever new videos are placed up, whether that's video kit releases, projects that we're creating and tutorials, or how-to items so that you can learn how to take and make your photos black and white or sepia or whatever it is. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope you'll go to our store right now. Check out this collection. You'll see the link in the description box below that'll take you right to this kit, and check out everything that it has to offer. Thanks again, and happy creating.